Welcome to this explainer on the absolutely wild, transformative power of our nightly journeys. Every single night, you close your eyes and your brain just starts painting these intense, vivid visions on a rich chemical canvas. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating evolutionary science behind why we have these dreams, what they actually do for us behind the scenes, and how we can literally learn to wake up inside them and take total control. Okay, so let's kick things off by asking you a very serious question to test your reality. Are you absolutely sure you aren't dreaming right now? Like seriously, take a quick look around your environment. Can you be 100% certain that you're awake? Now, I know it sounds like a cheesy philosophical riddle, but making a habit of asking yourself this exact question, that's the very first fundamental step to waking up inside your own mind. And that brings us to the concept of metacognition. Put simply, it's the awareness of your own awareness. It's your brain's ability to kind of take a step back and recognize its own consciousness. As we're going to see throughout this explainer, cultivating this specific mental skill while you're awake is absolutely the key to unlocking lucid dreaming while you're fast asleep. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the mystery of dreams, then look at the threat simulation theory. After that, we'll cover healing, processing, and creativity, followed by the sheer power of lucid dreaming, and finally, exactly how to do it yourself. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the mystery of dreams. You know, for centuries, our dreams were viewed as these mystical things, divine messages, prophecies, or just totally unsolvable puzzles. Back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, psychoanalysts like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung really believed dreams were heavily symbolic, right? Like they were the secret decoder ring for hidden desires and subconscious conflicts. But today, well, modern neuroscience gives us frameworks like the activation synthesis theory. This suggests that dreaming is actually just the brain's way of making sense of random neural firing and locking in our memories. So we've really moved away from interpreting mysterious psychological symbols to uncovering the hard biological machinery of the brain. Moving on to section 2, the threat simulation theory. So evolutionary psychologist Antti Revonsuo proposes this really fascinating theory. Think about it. Back in the ancestral environment, human life was incredibly dangerous. I mean, we're talking constant predators, harsh elements, rival groups, the whole shebang. Because our ancestors' lives were so perilous, Revonsuo proposes that dreaming actually evolved as a biological defense mechanism. It wasn't just random brain static, it was literally a survival tool.
Basically, your brain uses dreams as a virtual reality simulator to rehearse threat perception. During REM sleep, you are safely paralyzed in your bed, right? But your mind is running these incredibly active simulations of highly dangerous events. It lets you practice escaping, fighting, or hiding. And what this means is that even your absolute worst nightmares, the ones where you're being chased by a monster or running for your life, they might just be your biology successfully practicing survival. It's essentially your brain running a nightly fire drill.
Let's head into section 3, healing, processing, and creativity. As science journalist Alice Robb points out, our dreams act as this highly functional second consciousness. Without all that critical waking life judgment getting in the way, our dreaming minds massively boost problem solving and heighten our creativity, which, by the way, is exactly why artists from Paul McCartney to famous screenwriters report drawing heavy inspiration straight from their dreams. Plus, dreaming provides a truly crucial space for processing our mental health. In fact, research shows that severely depressed populations often have much lower dream recall. This really suggests that dreaming is an essential part of working through emotional pain.
And hey, this is exactly why those classic, super unpleasant stress dreams are actually doing you a massive favor. Come on, we've all had that dream, right? The one where we show up to a final exam totally naked or we completely forget our lines on a stage. Well, according to research on medical students, the ones who dreamed the most about an upcoming stressful exam actually performed the best in real life. It's wild, but it's just your brain's clever way of preparing you for social and intellectual challenges by running through the worst-case scenario ahead of time. Okay, section 4, the power of lucid dreaming. 55%. That is the number of people who have experienced at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. So if you think lucid dreaming is some rare superpower or a mystical myth, it's really not. It's a surprisingly common, biologically measurable human phenomenon that happens during REM sleep. And honestly, the best part? It can totally be trained. You see, lucid dreaming isn't just this fun nighttime adventure where you get to fly around a city like a superhero. It is a proven therapeutic tool. For trauma survivors, therapists are actually using imagery rehearsal therapy, or IRT, combined with lucid dreaming to help patients rewrite their recurring nightmares in real time. This can seriously ease the symptoms of PTSD. It also relieves daytime anxiety by letting you face your fears in a completely controlled environment. And astonishingly, researchers even speculate it can improve physical motor skills. Why? Because mentally performing an action in a lucid dream fires up similar neural pathways as doing it in waking life. How cool is that?
And that brings us to Section 5, How to Lucid Dream. Let's get into the practical stuff. So, researchers like Dr. Stephen LaBerge have pioneered a few highly effective methods for this. First, there's WILD, Wake-Initiated Lucid Dreaming, where you transition directly from being awake to dreaming without ever losing consciousness. This one is super effective, but yeah, it's pretty tricky to master. Then we have WBTB, Wake Back to Bed. For this one, you set an alarm for about 5 hours after you fall asleep, stay awake reading for maybe 30 minutes, and then go back to sleep. And finally, MILD, which stands for Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreams. This is where you repeatedly tell yourself as you fall asleep, the next time I dream, I want to remember that I am dreaming. And actually, research shows that combining that wake back to bed method with MILD triggers the absolute highest success rates for achieving lucidity. But if you want the most actionable, everyday method, it all comes down to the reality test. Remember that metacognition stuff we talked about at the beginning? Well, if you habitually ask yourself, am I dreaming, several times a day, your brain will eventually ask that exact same question while you're fast asleep. Try looking at a clock, pushing your hand against a solid wall, or even pinching your nose to see if you can still breathe. If you do this enough while you're awake, eventually you're going to perform that exact same test in a dream. Your hand will pass right through the wall and boom, you've broken the illusion. You're lucid.
Now, to make these reality checks actually work, you really need to pair them with a dedicated dream journal. Think about it. If you don't remember your dreams, you can't exactly become lucid in them, right? So log your dreams immediately upon waking up every single morning. Over time, you'll train your brain to boost its dream recall, and you'll start to recognize your own personal dream signs. These are those unique, surreal little things that happen frequently in your specific dreams. Once you figure out what your dream signs are, they act like massive neon billboards alerting you that you're actually asleep. When you think about it, we spend a full third of our lives immersed in this rich chemical canvas. Our dreams prepare us, they protect us, they heal our emotional wounds. And with just a little bit of practice, they can become an incredible playground for our conscious minds. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Now that you know you actually have the power to take the wheel, what will you choose to simulate the next time you go to sleep?